Sweet. Yo, what is up, everybody? Today we're trying something new. We're on a streaming service here, which I think this is on Instagram Live, I think. And then this is recording because I'm going to be posting this as a podcast as well. Right now is such a pivotal time in consciousness and life because we have the free will and the choice to decide to do what we love. So many people, the majority of people, are actually doing what they hate all the time. Doing things that they don't want to do all of the time simply because survival. Based on the trauma that we've been hypnotized by since very young ages, we have made it normal to be abused and to abuse ourselves. So it is our job as grown-ass individuals who are actually re-innocenting themselves, re-childliking themselves. It is our duty to stop doing shit that we hate. A wise man once said, "Your children not go beg, steal or borrow. Do what you love and the money will follow." Yo, so that's Illuminati Congo. Big shout out to my boy Congo. If you do what you love, the money will follow. And the essence of life is doing what you love. And even if when doing what you love means transmuting the pain and the anger inside because all of the craziness, the relentless abuse, catastrophe, trauma, criticizing, external forces, manipulating, incorrect information that appears to be real. It's crazy what will happen in somebody's life when they're consistently doing what they hate. We need you guys to do what you love. Yeah, I forgot. I was like, damn, I should probably pull these bad boys out. So we gotta do what we love, y'all. I remember what it was like not too long ago without doing what I love, with painting walls and knowing deep down inside my heart that there was this fire burning that was like, no, you don't want to do this, because I was doing it out of survival and desperation. I'll go paint a wall today because I want to, but when we're doing these things out of survival and desperation, we are telling ourselves a story subconsciously that we accept mediocrity, that we accept doing shit that we hate just so that we can put food in our stomachs. And the most empowering thing in life is when we're able to start doing what we love and get so good at doing what we love that it escalates into being something that pays us dividends. And that's what I've been so blessed to do, from being somebody who is diagnosed with treatment-resistant depression, treatment-resistant PTSD, had tried every single medication, every single type of cognitive therapy. I tried everything. And my mental health was in shambles. I was self-harming. I've overdosed on drugs plenty of times. I've had everything that you could imagine, from spending 3.5 years institutionalized in different jails and institutions from a minor to an adult. Thank God I learned very quickly as an adult after my first little stint in county jail for about 6 months in adult county jail, and about I don't even remember at this point. It was like 3 or 4 months in this other program called DACA, which I very quickly I got kicked out of there. I was like, no, I'm not doing this, and that's why I ended up having to go to jail. But then by the grace of the infinite, there were some loopholes that were maneuvered. That's a story for a different time. I would actually love to tell you that story. But this right now, I'm just going to keep it real with you. I want to get you guys angry because you have desire in your heart. You have something that you want deep down, but you're not doing anything to get it. You're just submitting and surrendering to the status quo when you could be showing up and shining and being an individual that is actually living into what they're capable of doing. It is the most offensive thing to our Creator when we don't at least try to magnify and glorify the infinite intelligence of creation by expressing ourselves to not only help other people, but to help ourselves, which is in other people. So right now, why am I on this live? I'm on this live because in the root and core of my soul, I have nothing better to do than go and speak to the other versions of myself, which is you and you and you and you and anyone that's listening to this. You guys, at your core, are electromagnetic vibrational beings. You guys, and that's a fact, pretty much. It's a fact when you've seen it. I can understand why people would say it's still a theory, just like I would still say that evolution is a theory. But then you would have some people that read a couple books and they're like, no, evolution's like basically a fact. And I love my dad so much, but he says evolution's basically a fact because that's just what the things that he read. He heard a news article. Oh, the accredited university, they've been teaching this for so long. They've been studying. Oh man, they know these things. So there's a difference between calling something a fact that's really just a theory based on reading a buzz title about it, and then there is a very different occurrence, which is what's happening here, where it's, I know for a fact that you are vibrational electromagnetic beings that have your heart pumping with blood based on the infinite intelligence of Jah that is here, ever present, ever new, expressing itself through me and you. So it's our duty and our job as people here, if you even like anything that I'm saying, if you feel at all whatsoever that you relate to wanting to be a good person, that wanting to bring your desires into manifestation, wanting to be a creative individual that was created by the infinite intelligence, the creation, you were created as a creation by the creation to be a creator. You were created by the creation to be a creator within this creation. And every single day that we're going by and we're not living our truest authenticity, our truest expression, our truest showing up in the world, you are putting armor on and shielding this part of yourself that is so needed for the whole. So that's why I'm on this live right now, is because I love life and I love you, and I want to show up and glorify and like fucking what's the word? It's the opposite of exasperate. It's exalt. I'm trying to exalt, I'm pretty sure. Fuck. It's okay. There's a word that starts with the I, and I was trying to be all fancy and drop a fucking key word on you, but it's okay. Basically, the synonyms to the word would have been that shit's fire. Thank God this is like literally exact perfection through the creation. And that was what the word was trying to embody in it. And I'm gonna pick up back where we left off. It's my mission and my job to show up and to flow up and to give my 100%. And then when we realize that we can break this old paradigm and stop suffering, stop consistently having suffering be our baseline state, stop surrendering our free will so that we can have some material gains but have no fulfillment and contentment in our hearts, surrendering our attention to whatever we were told that we needed to attend to based on needing to survive and have enough money to get by. No, fuck that. Absolutely not. So what I work with people through is, first we get to purify our body, minds, and souls so that we're able to actually have free will and thought. Because once you can have free will and thought, that's when you can begin to step into having free will and action. But until you actually polish your subconscious mind and purify some of the impressions and programming and indoctrinations and dogmas and all the stisms and isms that we're finding to be truth and fact, as we can remove these from us via the breath, via some other quantum technologies that we use, via all of the different biohacking modalities that we use, via turning back time and rejuvenating, reyouthing, revitalizing. When we do this and embody this first, then we're able to flower out into the world where we can share life-bringing shit with people for lots of money. I know a lot of you spiritual cats have a weird relationship with money, and Lord knows that I did as well for, the majority of my life, in poverty mindset, thinking that money was all that mattered because I'm good. Oh, life is hard. I'm a dope boy. I'll fucking pull up. Oh man, it's me or them. I'm gonna have to take it. So that was what I was like from ages really young until just, of course, I wasn't innately born like that. I was indoctrinated and programmed into that thought structure via the poisonous rap music that we are indoctrinated by on mainstream media to this day, so that we can be drug addicts, be violent, discriminate towards women, and have no, you're making queens be thoughts. That hoe over there, unbelievable. So it's twisted and backwards, and I was a product of the twisted and backwards way of perception towards life. And the rapper, criminal, drug addict, ooh, I'm cool. Yeah, whipping the tripping, the flipping, the whipping, the tripping, the flipping, the flip. Man, shut your bitch ass up. That's what I really feel like now. If you are rapping about ignorant bullshit and you don't even live it, you are playing a part in such a deeply rooted, sick fucking thing that's happening on the planet right now, where there is a force of evil that is really a force of free will, but it's evil because people can use their free will for flowers to blossom or for death and destruction. And there's a lot of people on this planet that are using their free will for death and destruction. And I'm so glad to now be on the other end of that, back to the money topic, where instead of getting paid for suffering like they are, instead of getting paid for addiction like they are, oh, who is they? Well, we'll get into that another day. I'm not going to go that deep right now. We're getting paid after you first polish your flower and then are well enough to be able to actually share this with the world. Then you're going to be able to have your sustenance, have the reciprocity from sharing goodness in the world and making a real impact in people's lives. I woke up today at 5:30, as I do most every morning, go to my brother and friend Satya's house, who has been one of my primary clients for the last 2 years now. He is a multi-nine-figure business owner that is running one of the largest private equity and luxury rental car brokerages in South Florida. What does that mean? Basically, he helps millionaires make more money on their money because he has a very successful rental car business where he can give investors 15% back on their money per year. At least, it fluctuates. So that's the time for another talk. If you have millions of dollars sitting around, you want to make 15% guaranteed, sign a guaranteed note, or up to 25% if it's a revenue share, then that's wonderful. The reason why I mentioned this to you is now he was at a really low point in his life. He was doing his very best that he could in his business. Everything was going great in his business, but there was a hole here. There was so much anxiety. There was so much overwhelm. There was so much pressure, and it just was unbearable for the guy. He was just suffering, And it's like a year and a half, 2 years later now, but he was saying this within just 3 months. He's like, dude, you literally saved my fucking life. Like my whole businesses and everything, it was so overwhelming and stressful, and I had no coping mechanisms that I was gonna literally fold. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was fucked. It was over. I was gonna have a heart attack. He's 27 years old, mind you. He's gonna have a heart attack. It was getting dark there, and because of Beyond Boundaries Breathwork and because of bringing in other holistic biohacking modalities to such a good person that's doing such great things, the reciprocity that happens from that is unbelievable. Just from him and my other handfuls of clients that I go in and out of, sometimes selling packages of sessions. Everything's really shifted ever since I've had so many people paying me such top dollar to work with me. Now I have a lot of free resources for people that don't have money, and I want them to get to a place where they will have money so that they can also enjoy what it's like to drop 15 grand on a training program, which is something that Lord knows I've done. And the most interesting thing really is in the breath coach school right now, we're working on making a middle stage program, and that's something a new partner of mine, Nia Lewis, are doing, is making a middle ground stage program. So instead of it just being free things and then the full training program, we have 2 tiers of the training program. There's the without personal attention and with personal attention. But we think we need to make something that's a little smaller and more accessible for everybody so that we could, really keep an impact on people while they're on their way up. Because the most interesting thing is to just take 2 years of your life and sharing holistic healing modalities that really changed and completely saved and transformed my life, from addiction, depression, suicidal ideation, to, now making almost $1 million in 2 years from my coaching business, selling high ticket programs, and making a major impact in lots of people's lives that I've worked with in this last 2 years. There's nothing like it. So haters gonna hate, and I want you in the comments to say how I'm like a egotistical, scumbag, greedy person, but tell me that when you realize that you can make money from doing good in the world, or you can make money from feeding off suffering and addiction. Which one do you want to do? And it's as simple as that. So I know this podcast is for people that are like, dude, I hate my job. I don't want to do my job. I'm over my fucking job. I want to continue to do things that I feel good about in my life. I want to feel like I'm making an impact for goodness in the world. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't want to keep doing shit because I have to, because if I don't, then I'm not going to be able to eat food and pay rent, and then then I won't be able to pay rent, and then the bears are going to be out, and then the bears are going to eat me because I don't have a shelter in my cave. And that's how a lot of people walking around right now, about to have a fucking mental breakdown, not knowing how to pay their goddamn car payment, and like working for shit wage, doing things they hate. Unbelievable. Stop it. You can do that in the meantime, but if you're not doing everything you can to try to maneuver and switch a situation to where you're going to be able to do something that's more fulfilling and uplifting, my friend, you should be angry. You should be angry at yourself, because right now you're in fear and grief. That's the lowest vibration you could be in, fear and grief. We need to get you at least to be angry about your fear and grief. And then we need to get you to really desire from that, and then get you into being proud enough to actually take actions towards it. So we're on our way, my friends. Many of you guys were already happy and blissful and tuned the fuck in, and you're already breath coaches, you're already holistic health coaches, and now you're just here inquiring about like, oh wow, well, what is it that I am doing wrong? Because I'm not making that much money, and I thought my modalities were working, but maybe there's more depth to that, into which that I could go within myself. There's maybe something here for me. I'm already doing pretty good. Life is pretty good. Like, I still work my job that I don't like, but I'm at least doing my spiritual shit on the side. I'm doing my biohacking stuff on the side, and this is for you as well. So whether you absolutely hate your job and are begging for a new chance at life, or if you've been little by little overcoming, getting out of the societal norms of just accepting that you're going to do what you hate with all of your time and have no time to nourish and nurture yourself and your family, and have no money left over at the end of it all. So if you're in either one of those places, then this is for you. And if you're anything in between and you found this somehow useful or entertaining, then continue to stay here and watch this. But right now, major shift in the reality of Kashi's world, and the reality of your world too. I am going to be very much more active. I've always been consistent. I've always posted daily and stuff, but there's levels to this shit. I'm about to start posting long form content constantly, more short form content, more strategic, more value. The courses that I've just filmed, edited, and done all of the writing, scripting, filming, editing. Well, I didn't do the editing. Of course, I have to outsource stuff like that. That's just way too much. we're blessed. We got a team of about like 5 or 6 people working with the breath coach school right now. As in, like, people are working to help uplift the vision on the back end. And many new coaches are coming out of the breath coach school, and so much goodness is coming. So I'm just so excited to continue to be able to be an influence in your life of some hope and of some, like, knowing that it's possible that if an ex-druggie, high school dropout, fucking ex-convict, criminal, scumbag, overdosing piece of shit could turn his life from that to living the life of his dreams, completely healthy. Check my blood work. My blood work is fucking, like, fabulous. I have very specific dietary things that I do. It's not very, a lot of people be like, oh, well, you can't be vegetarian and have your blood work be good, and that's just not true. And I'm not pushing vegetarianism down people's faces. I think that you should ideally at least go shoot your animals. That's probably a little bit more cool than just taking the straight up terror and fear that's within their flesh from the factory farms. And that's just an ethical thing in itself. It's not nice that that's happening. But nothing against people eating meat. I know that we live in a world where that's normal. So my intention is never to judge people for doing things that are that don't sit well with nature's laws, but instead to encourage people just to do what feels the most loving for themselves and what is in accordance with their highest attainment and connectivity. And the reason why I mention that is because if you're watching this, clearly you have something in your heart that makes you want to be a better person. If you're watching this, you have something in your heart that is pulling you towards doing things that feel better for yourself. So that's why I work with people through changing their diet, not just to vegetarianism. We could even work through eating meat, but just from more intentional sources. Working with people through what they put in their body, what they put in their mind, and how they expand and express their soul. And those 3 things, what you put in your body, what you put in your mind, and how you express and expand your soul, that is the key foundation to how to live a life that feels very fulfilling and worth living. And my highest intention would be to just uplift even one of you to know that you're going to come back one day and be like, dude, well, this has already happened countless times, which is such a fucking blessing. But dude, if it wasn't for you talking about this constantly, I would have never chased my dreams to become a purposed, impact-based entrepreneur and doing what I love and sharing it, and then figuring out a way to actually make this my sustenance. So with that being said, we'll see if this thing that I'm here, hey Instagram, I hope this is working. And if this is working, I'm signing up for the pro version. Yeah, we'll see. I'll see you on the next one, y'all. Oh wow, I did do it.